If you're applying for university, then it's become a bit of a prerequisite that you stand out from the crowd, that you are more than just your A-level grades, because everybody presents really high A-level grades. What makes you a better applicant? It's that extension beyond the curriculum, it's that love and passion for your subject, it's that intellectual curiosity that makes supercurricular, and the activities and the exploration that you'll do will form part of not only improved skill set, improved understanding, better knowledge, but it will also give you some wonderful content to put in a personal statement. It perhaps is an application for employment, or it might even be for an apprenticeship. It doesn't really matter what you're applying for, it's about improving yourself.
Now we will give you a short guide to my supercurricular. We show you how to use the website and how to get the most out of it. And hopefully by the end of this video, you will be convinced that supercurricular activities don't have to be scary. They can be fun, they can be accessible, and anyone can find something to enjoy. First thing that you need to do is to register. Go onto mysupercurricular.co.uk, click on the register, put your first name and last name, make sure to use your school email address and create your password. Click register. Your account has now been created and you're ready to log in.
Once you've logged in, this is your home screen and this is what you'll see. You'll notice there are 6 sections across the top. Maybe just think about what kind of activities you prefer doing, or whether or not a particular resource or activity might be within that section. It's also about pushing the limits of what you're comfortable doing as well. So maybe start somewhere a bit more comfortable, but be prepared to be a bit more adventurous later on. Each resource, big picture, little piece of information, and then you'll notice our subject tags. We're helping you to do more breadth around your subject, to explore it beyond what might be the obvious. 2 really important features on each one of our resource suggestions: save this resource for later, which is just a simple toggle button, and share this resource. Pop in the email address of a friend or someone in your class, or maybe a member of staff that you want to show this resource to. Click the share button and it will send them an email telling them there's a suggestion for them. Save the resource for later is crucial. It enables you to find resources that you might want to try. It also allows you to go back to your account later on and perhaps write reflections or complete an activity or review it or return to it at a later date.
In order to search for resources, you have 2 options. You can either type some keywords in the search bar or select your favorite subject in the drop-down menu. So we have different categories here for you. For example, STEM, social sciences, health sciences, creative arts and study skills. And you can look for all resources related to these broad categories. For example, STEM. So select STEM, press search. But then you can narrow down within categories to specific subjects. So for example, here I'm going to look for physics resources within STEM and see what resources are recommended for physics. This is a really good place to start because perhaps you can get some inspiration for your favorite subject or find a specific topic that might interest you. So this is where we prefer or recommend that you start your exploration.
So the first section we're going to look at is digital resources and social media. And it's full of websites, which might be the website of a professional organisation or a political party. It could be an educational establishment, a museum. It can be just about anything which contains some supercurricular content. Now, it's really important that when you're visiting these sites, you don't just look and then wander away, but that actually you engage with the material. So perhaps sign up for a newsletter, because that way that information is being fed to you rather than you having to go search for it. We really recommend that you follow probably at least 2 sites, one of them being a news type site, the other entirely up to you. But please don't think you're limited to 2. That's certainly not the case. There are also practical projects on some of these websites as well. So if it's appropriate and it fits with what you're looking for, then have a go at some of the wonderful projects that some of these websites are encouraging you to get involved with. There's also a lot of social media content on here as well. And we know social media is part of your life, so we encourage you to use that for your supercurricular exploration. Follow some of the people that we suggest on here, but don't just follow them and watch them appear on your daily feed and then do very little about it. It's a case of engaging with the post rather than just looking at it, thinking it's of interest, and then wandering on by to your latest TikTok video.
Online courses are a fantastic way to show your commitment and enthusiasm for a subject, but also to learn something new in a nice, engaging way. What we do here for you is we collect different online courses from 20 different websites, making it nice and easy for you to search for those courses. We also make sure that the courses that we provide here are introductory or open access level, so you don't need any prior knowledge. And we make sure that these courses are free to access. I would recommend that you set yourself a target of completing one online course per term. And if you can do maybe 2 or 3 online courses by the end of this academic year, I think you will have an amazing portfolio to show to your university when you apply.
Okay, so our third section is books, probably the most familiar and the most traditional type of supercurricular activity. There are people out there who will say, I don't really do books, but it has to be said that books can offer you a huge opportunity. What you will certainly find is if university is your destination or a degree apprenticeship, then the reading of books and journals is key to your success when you leave school. So getting used to this is a really good habit. You'll notice there's a little bit of difference in appearance of this section. So rather than having lots of information about the book, initially you'll just see the book cover. And then if you click on it, you will find more information on the follow-up. That information is a bit more about what that book is about. And wherever possible, we try to find a review from a student who has used this book as part of their supercurricular exploration. We also give you lots of information to help you to get books either in or outside of school through a local library as cost effectively as possible. I often recommend that you look at digital books, that you look at online books, that you look at buying second hand, that you buy paperback rather than hardback, you buy Kindle or Audible books, because each of those are a really cost effective way of accessing books that means that you get to explore this section. In our huge range of books, you will find books for every interest, every subject, and every method of reading. It's about really exploring your subject and looking for something that's a little bit different. So you're not reading from that book list that every other student has been given that gives a predictable outcome in the end. You're reading books that pique your interest, that are a little bit different, that show your unique interest in the subject that you're writing about. So go ahead and have a look.
Yes, this is our favorite section for bite-sized super curriculum. Here you will find a fantastic selection of interesting podcasts and short videos which will help you to explore your topics in more details. So for videos, you can find lectures on here, you can find short TED Talks, you can find films or perhaps TV programs that you can watch as part of your exploration. We have links to interesting YouTube channel, interviews, and in terms of time commitment, it can be anything from a 5-minute video to a slightly longer film or a lecture. And in terms of podcasts, you will find here interesting podcasts starting from highly academic podcasts by Oxford University to something a little bit more entertaining, which also have academic value. So have a look here, see what piques your interest, have a go, and enjoy.
Now, events tend to be structured into two sections: taster sessions and masterclasses, and events and competitions and prizes. So, taster sessions and masterclasses, it's important to say that don't focus on who's offering the exploration, focus on the subject, because it may be that the university that's offering the taster session or masterclass isn't one that you'd consider applying to, but that doesn't make much difference. It's about an opportunity to experience undergraduate delivery in a subject that you're interested in from a university. These are almost always online, and you can see that by the information that's posted under the image, giving you the time and whether it's online or whether it might be one of the few that we put on which are physical, something you get to attend. So, as far as competitions and prizes are concerned, this is an area where lots of people feel intimidated. What we would say is it's about the process. If you win, fantastic. If you don't, then that's not a huge problem, because actually, in the process of submitting, something for a prize or competition, you are actively going through supercurricular anyway. And a lot of the competitions that we put on here expand beyond the obvious ones that you may see around. So we know that Oxford and Cambridge have a lot of academic competitions and prizes through the year, but we also like to look at organisations and commercial companies who offer them, or perhaps competitions that use a different method or medium to deliver something. So Royal Society of Biology it's obviously about biology, but the method of competing is via photography. So you get to really include two areas of interest in one opportunity. Our message to events is be brave, have a go, and don't be afraid.
Work experience and volunteering. Some courses require work experience as part of the application process, for example, medicine or dentistry. But other courses would see work experience as a desirable opportunity to show that you understand the industry and you also got the right skills that you can demonstrate that will be helpful for your application. So here we selected fantastic work experience and volunteering opportunities will help you to explore the industry and the careers that you're considering in the future. A lot of the work experiences that we have here are online. They are put together by reputable organizations that will give you a real insight into what the industry or that particular job or career really looks like. And so the information that we like to look out on here is, first of all, whether it's online or physical. So if it's a physical work experience that you need to travel to somewhere, it will have an address here. So make sure that you take a note of that. Also have a look at the dates. So if there is a date in the future, it means that this work experience will be held this particular date. And the other type of work experiences that we have are called work simulations, and they can be accessed anytime. So we also have volunteering opportunities here as well, because it gives you a different set of skills. It helps you to maybe immerse yourself into community, maybe improve your communication skills, etc. So I really like this section. I think it will give you lots of skills and will look very, very impressive on your CV or personal statement.
If you go to your name up in the top right hand side and click on My Account, it will take you to a new screen that shows you all of those resources that you've chosen to save alongside some other bits and pieces. So your account information is there, and there's an availability to edit that should you wish to do so. But the most important thing is a replica of our site where you'll notice the 6 sections are highlighted there, and everything that you saved will appear in this section. Anything that you've saved but have not yet accessed or completed will be in this buff colour here. Once you've actually completed this resource, then you can click on the completion status toggle and it changes to green, give you an indicator of how many activities you've completed and perhaps what you still need to go back and deal with. As you look at your resources that you've saved in here, there may be something that you've decided you don't really want to do anymore, that it's no longer part of your super curricular, it's not a direction you want to follow, and you have the opportunity to delete that with that little red box there. One thing we say is critical when you're completing your super curricular exploration is to write some reflections, because it's not about how many you've done or when you've done them, or that long list of achievements. Is about what has that done for you? How has that made you a better student? How has it improved your understanding, your knowledge, or increased your passion for a subject? So in here, you're going to write your reflections on the actual activity. We've given you some questions just above, but considering what it is that it's told you, what you've learned, your thoughts, whether or not your view on a subject matter's changed, or whether there's anything you agree or disagree with, and really crucially, what are your next steps? What would you like to know more about? Where would you like to take this? And that allows you to develop a pathway, a journey, or a thread through your super curricular activities. This is a key, vital section of your site. And when you write any reflections in here, always remember to save those reflections. And then when the time comes to write a personal statement or an application or your EPQ report, all you need to do is copy and paste these out of here into whatever your working document is and begin to hone them and improve them into that final piece of work. This is a section that's really important if your super curricular is going to be well-rounded and well reflected upon.
We hope this video was useful in order to introduce you to the website and show you how to use it in the most productive way. We update the website every week, so you'll find new resources at the top of the page, and perhaps you can find new inspirations, new ideas in order to make sure your supercurricular profile is absolutely fantastic. Keep logging in, keep writing reflections, taking stock of all the activities you've completed, and keep building that amazing supercurricular profile. We also want to draw your attention to our supercurricular lunchtime clinics. You can find this in the events section. Book a session with us. It's a short 15-minute slot where we can help you to look at your specific supercurricular profile, can give you pointers of specific activities that you can use to develop it further, and maybe give you some ideas how to make your supercurricular profile even more impressive. So hopefully we will see you soon. Enjoy using the website.